Welcome everybody. My name is Corey York and I am your host today. I got Wisdom with me from my team. Wisdom and I are both from a company by the name of Webware, and we're super excited to be here today. Belle brought us here, and I want to say first, thank you so much to Belle for organizing and pushing everyone to do this series, inviting their customers. We're so excited. This is only for business owners. This message went out to all the Belle business customers who are business owners, and we're super excited to get your time. So there's still a lot of people coming in the room. There was a huge response to the invite. I think it was massive. We had over 400 people that RSVP'd, so we're expecting a big crowd today. So do get comfortable, get ready. We're gonna dive into it. I just wanna let everyone register and come on in the room. In the meantime, I'd love to hear from you in the chat. I love to be interactive. This isn't a TV show. This is an interactive event. I am real. I am not AI. I am not a video. So I do want to hear from you in the chat. Please let me know what's your business name and put your website, plug your website. This is all about digital marketing. This whole series is about digital marketing. So always plug your website and introduce yourself in the following way. I help who do what, and this is my website, and I've been around for X amount of years. I want to know years in business because it really changes the way I talk today. If I see a lot of startups or if I see a lot of 20 years in business, it's different, right? The challenges are way different. So depending on your reply, what I see today, I'll adjust on the fly so that you can get the most out of this because you guys showed up. So let's see in the chat. Website, plug your website. I help who do what, okay? Who, define the who. Who is it? I help homeowners, I help businesses, I help small businesses, I help, rich families, poor families, struggling families. What do you help them do? Get a mortgage, get a house, get better accounting, get healthier, get mentally stronger. Introduce yourself that way and do that all the time, and you get business off intros. So if you want business off intros, I help who do what. It's a phenomenal way to say, who you are quickly, help the person understand, and then get some business. It's so cool when you do it that way. It's one of my first hacks that I'll share with you. Let's see. Kodak metal buildings. Awesome. So I'm going to put you guys up here actually. Let's see. We got Glenn Stewart Insurance. What's up, Glenn? We got West End Windows and Doors.ca. So if you're in the auto area, you're thinking about getting some better windows and doors, hit up Kendall. Thanks for coming. Appreciate that. Put up your businesses, guys. This will go on the internet forever. So in 10 years, you might get a call saying, I need some windows and doors. I was watching this wicked webinar on Bell Media or on Bell's website or Webware's website, wherever this is going to exist. It's going to go in a few places, I hope. And you never know who will watch. And in fact, just the other day, I watched a webinar and I wanted to look at an amazing government program. So I went looking for it and I watched a webinar, and a guy in the chat said, I help people apply for that government grant. And I emailed him right from that chat. The video is four years old. And he's like, how did you find me? And I said, this video, someone in the comments, mentioned you. So I found you and I emailed you. And that's like 4 years ago he did that. He wasn't even involved in it. So plug your business. We got Diana Pella. Let's see. I've been in business for 24 years. Diana, I'm going to book you to speak for Bell next time. You could probably teach all of us a thing or two. Awesome to have you. Drew Hopes, Heartbeat Events, Boutique Mobile DJ Service in Ottawa. We're getting a lot of Ottawa today. My wife's from Ottawa. So I got warm feelings for Ottawa. Of course, our nation's capital. I am Tony, Barrel 22 Hot Sauce, 2 years in business, Barrel 122. I think that's a 122.com. So if you like hot sauce, check out Tony. So who else we got? Stacy, Ridge Cedar, been in business for over 20 years. Awesome. Siding, flooring, lumber. Nice. Way to plug your business. Perfect. Who else we got here? We help everyone feel better. Well, everyone click that link because we all want to feel better. That's awesome. Okay, great. So let's jump into it. I want to make use of your time today. Today we're going to talk about what obviously is on everyone's mind, okay, which is how do I leverage this thing, Instagram, to grow my business? I think that's why this particular event was double the response than the other events. I think everyone knows Instagram is the place to be. Everyone's on it, everyone's staring at it. And, I just think like the Super Bowl is now moved from one night a year on TV to every single night on Instagram. That's the way I look at Instagram, right? And why wouldn't you want to take your business with an opportunity like that and put your face in the Super Bowl? And it's not like you need to buy $1 million ad because, Instagram runs a personal Super Bowl for you, right? It's based on where you are. It's based on what you like. It's based on what you talked about. They're constantly trying to feed you the right ad that's going to solve the problem you're probably trying to think about or talk about or challenge, right? And that's great. So how do you get your business on the Super Bowl? That should be the question everyone should be thinking about, because in this day and age, if you're not doing this, you're just missing out. I am so floored on how many business owners have not gone into paid. I know there's a lot of people tried Instagram, and we're going to talk about a lot about that today, and that's what the whole event is today. So let me jump into it a little bit as we get started. Let's go. A little bit about me. My name's Corey York. I am the co-founder and CEO of a company called Webware.ai. We're about a $13-14 million a year business out of Toronto, Canada. 20 years of experience building successful companies. I've built 2 companies now to hit around 13-14 million in revenues. I've sold one of them. I'm part of the Forbes Agency Council, and I've done a lot of stuff, from selling the company to hiring 300 people, working internationally. So my thing is business is my sport. And I love talking to entrepreneurs, and I love helping with business challenges. And partially that's why Belle has brought me here today. And this is, by the way, our 6th in the series of webinars now that we've been doing this year to help small businesses and small business owners just leverage digital marketing. And as we're about to get into a presentation of digital marketing, I always like to just start with this for a moment, okay? Every business owner needs to tell the other business owner, you shout it out from in the streets to each other, because AI's biggest beneficiary is small business. I know it's crazy. Everyone thinks the world's going to end, but I actually think small businesses are about to have some of the best times ever. Okay, I think this is actually the big break small businesses were dying to get. So if you're a business owner not leveraging AI, you're like, I don't want to try this thing, which I'm seeing less of. But there are still people that are scared, right? In the chat, let's just take a quick little poll. In the chat, are you leveraging AI today? Yes or no? Put it in the chat and let's see if it's changed. Because when I did this a year ago, I bet you'd be, there were a lot of no's, and I bet a lot of people have now come onto the side of the yes. So let's see it in the chat, yes or no. Let's little quick poll. We got so many incredible business owners here today. What great feedback to get. This is super important data. Oh my, I'm seeing a lot of no's. Not yet. Okay, awesome. I'm seeing a lot of yeses too. This is amazing. Good stuff. Okay, so there's still a lot of people to talk to about this. That excites me actually, because I'm so far ahead sometimes. I think everyone's using AI, but there's still a lot of questions and a lot of people just getting started. So this is a perfect place for you to be today, okay? Now let's talk about why you should use AI, okay? I've worked with 10,000 business owners, helping them do digital marketing. I currently, Webware, my company, has 4,000 under management at this moment, right? We've been around for over a decade. And the one thing I know is that growing a small business is like ridiculously hard. It is ridiculously hard. And the numbers tell you this story because it's a 90% failure rate for small businesses, 90%. And it's even harder the longer you last. It's not like it gets easier, right? So you've if you're more than 5 years in business, you're literally, you've redefined the odds. You've made it through some of the hardest things ever. You've probably seen about everything. and your resilience is off the charts. And that's an amazing thing. And I love working with small business owners. And that's why it's my mission to help small business owners. I'm a small business owner. My grandfather was a small business owner. And that's where I get my passion, right? And the biggest challenge, the three biggest challenges for a small business owner is they don't have enough money, right? There's always scarcity in money, and they want money to get more resources. I need more team. I need more talent, right? I need more time back, right? The 3 T's, right? And AI can really change a lot of those big problems you're facing, right? AI gives you the team, the talent, and the time back. Geez, I should make a TTT framework for this, right? And that's what it does. And those are the 3 biggest challenges. You don't have enough money to do this stuff, and AI's come around, and I like to compare it to this crane, right? The crane came around and did what 300 people used to do, right? We used to build buildings with, brick by brick, and it was like 100 people on the job site, and now one person sits up there and they move earth, right? That's what AI is for a small business. And why it's so exciting for small business is because it's like the crane is new. AI is not that new, right? What's new is that you have the crane now, right? You guys have broken into the weapons depot and you've now grabbed the same guns that the big guys have. And I'll tell you what the problem is for the big guys is they're very slow. They're very slow to move because there's a ton of people, right? It takes a lot of time to convince a lot of people to do new things. It's hard. I believe me, I have a team of 300, 400, getting them to change direction, all follow the same values, all, work towards a common goal. That's really hard, right? And now you have this incredible opportunity, right? Where you can be agile. Small business owner, the advantage small business has is we're agile and fast and resilient. And we, with the same guns of big corporate, my money's on us. My money's on us, right? If I'm a big retailer, I'm worried about the small retailers, right? So it's an amazing time. Don't ignore it, leverage it. And if you have a lot of questions and you want to know where to get started with AI, by the way, that QR code in the top right goes to my Instagram, and you can follow me and I can chat about anything you're thinking about. I love talking about business. I'm not a consultant. I'm not going to try and sell you anything over there. Business is my sport. So just scan that QR code, follow me on Instagram if you do want to talk more about AI. Because the rest of this presentation is not going to be about AI. We're going to jump into the actual topic we're here today. Since there were so many no's, I wanted to double down on the AI for everybody, okay? All right. Let's talk about Instagram marketing. Here's some challenges if you're feeling this is the place that you want to be today, right? You think video marketing costs too much, right? Instagram marketing, video, any kind of video marketing, right? Doing paid marketing especially, but video, you think you need the equipment. You think you need a great production set. You're under the impression that I need a great model, and coming up with all the things, right? The right lighting and the right setting, and you got to be in the right mood, or you have to hire some people, and it all sounds so expensive, and there's just no way that your business is going to be able to do it. Okay. If that's what you're feeling, this is the best place. Second thing I think a lot of us are feeling when it comes to Instagram marketing, what do I even say in the video? Okay, what do I even say in these videos on Instagram? Like, how do I know what it is I should say? What's the script? Right? Sure, I can go to ChatGPT, make a script, but is it really going to hit? Maybe it's not, you've tried, or you're paralyzed by just the thought of trying to write something, trying to come up with what really it is, right? And that's a whole challenge in itself, right? I noticed an entrepreneur the other day who has a startup, and they're talking about the challenges of starting a startup, right? And I know that's what they want to talk about, right? Because they're passionate about it, and that's what they're feeling, and that's their problems. But you got to think about what to write, and what you need to write about, and what I want to teach you today is what to write about, right? Does your customer care about how hard it is you did a startup, or does the customer care, and are they looking, and are their ears really going to open up when you talk about their problems, right? So you got to think really wisely about what goes down on paper, right? What kind of messaging comes out? Does it attract the one I'm trying to get? So we're going to talk about that completely today. Challenge number 3, I've done organic Instagram and I got 0 action. Okay, that's another common one, right? We go on Instagram, we do the story, we do the reels, we do it every day for 100 days, and you got like 10 followers, right? I don't know if that's happened to me. My organic social marketing, my organic Instagram's terrible, right? It just never worked for me. I've done hours and hours, and you can go to my program, you're gonna see hours and hours and hours and hours. It didn't do anything. However, I'm gonna show you how my business is about 70% of my growth comes from Instagram. It just doesn't come from organic. So I wanna know in the chat, which of these 3 challenges made you like bop your head up and down? That's the one, right? Just quickly, did you think like it costs too much to do it? Digital market, video advertising marketing? Was it just, do you think the cost is overwhelming? Or do you just not know what to say, right? When it comes to video marketing? Or did you do it and got no reaction, but you tried organic? Which is the one that hit you the most today? 1, 2, or 3? All right, I got Caitlin Anderson at 3. I got Stacy at 3. Okay, I've got Jess at 3. Okay, this is really good. Okay, so we have the same problem, okay? I also did the organic. I tried really hard. Hundreds of posts a day. I had a marketer help me, and it literally did nothing. So I get that one. We're gonna talk about how to, and I'll be honest, I'm not gonna show you how to do organic. It didn't work for me. You know, I don't know what other people are doing, but I will show you how I make a ton of money doing the paid one, right? And how I did it from a very low amount of money. So let's talk about the promises. Oh, hold on, one more. I got a lot of 3s though. Mostly everyone's in 3s. I forgot I added this one right before, but you get leads, but you can't close the deals. Did anyone feel number 4? Does that come out for anyone? Like it actually works. You get people signing up for something, but you're never able to close the deal. Is that another one that people are having a problem with? Or am I sensing it's just 3? I did organic, and it was just like a tree falling in the forest with no one around. Okay, good. See, this helps me know exactly where to focus on today. So this is why I asked these questions. I appreciate Caitlin, Jess, Steve, Sasha, Providence, Kendall, Tony, and Travis. I really appreciate your feedback. Okay, so here's what I want to show you today, and my promise is that you'll walk away with. Okay, 1, you'll know how to launch an effective video marketing advertisement on Instagram for starting as low as $50 a day. That's the budget I started with, and I'm not making this up. This is what we do. This is what we do for ourselves at Webware, and I'm going to show you some of the numbers in a second. But this is where it started for me. Okay. Oh, we have a huge guest just popped in here. She's the one that did it all for me, so I'm going to add her. We'll let her join when she can. She might have a baby in her hands, but Ramona's here. Ramona is our head of marketing at Webware, and her and I actually went off on this journey together. Okay, Ramona joined my company, and we tried all kinds of marketing. We tried, Google. We tried YouTube channel. We tried static ads. We tried all sorts of things. We tried models. We tried, stock footage models. Ramona at one point got our head of sales, who's a really good-looking, tall guy, young guy, in our office named Jesse, who's somewhere in the crowd, and his video didn't kick, right? And then Ramona walked into my office and said, "I need you to read a script." And we did this together. And today's presentation is really all about the thing Ramona and I did together to get our business into where it is. I'm going to show you that as we go. Okay. So launch an effective marketing campaign as low as starting at $50 a day. Okay. Let me get to the next here. Promise number 2, and this can work for organic, but it is what I did. I do it for everything. I'm actually going to teach you a content framework that is mind-blowingly easy to follow, so effective you'll never not use it ever again. And every time you use it, whether it's an ad or a presentation or a speech you want to give your partner, this is the way you speak. And I'm going to show you my script framework, where if you speak that way, it gets whoever's listening to buy into you, okay? Whatever situation it is a cadence on how to talk where someone else's human brain turns on, listens, and engages, okay? I've been using it for years. Hint, hint, I'm using it right now, okay? Promise number 3, convert leads with a proven follow-up system, okay? Leads come in, it doesn't mean the deal's done. There's a whole ball game you need to play. And if we have time, I'll call up Jesse Lee later, who's my head of sales, who's the one that does this thing, where Ramona helps too, where it's automation, follow-up, until the deal closes or goes away, right? I'm gonna show you our system on how we nurture a lead to money. So I'll tell you our story at Webware. Webware AI, we're based in Toronto. We're 10 years old now, and I built the business. I'm one of 2 founders who built the company. We started with 0 money, going door to door. I personally sold the first 30 customers walking into businesses on St. Clair in Toronto and Yonge Street in Toronto. And just saying, hi, how are you? I'm Corey. I have a company that helps websites. Do you need a website? And that's how it all started 10 years ago. And now it's turned into a whole different story, but I want to talk about the growth today, right? Today, the business is worth, like I said, around 13, 14 million annual revenues, mostly recurring revenue subscription, right? So I'm sharing some pretty, personal details with you guys. I want to show you under the hood, right? And we built the first, little while was on cold calling, and then the first little while was on cold calling, and then, at one point we had 150 people on the phone doing sales in Toronto. And that's the old way I built my company. It was expensive, it was stressful, it was unpredictable, and we were constantly hiring and training new people. And the only way to grow the business was to grow the people. And when you're at 100 people, even 30 people to 100 people, you're starting to manage a lot of personalities. And it's a whole different business that you nor I ever really was signed up to be in, frankly, when you get to that level, right? You gotta start hiring executives. So it's a whole different business, but this is where I found myself. And we were able to, when I met Ramona, I gave her my pain and I said, this is what it is, right? And through her efforts, we now just have 10 sales reps. Fast forward 2 years, maybe 2-3 years now, Ramona, we have 10 sales reps, and we're doing more revenue and more sales than we were with the 150. Because we learned how to leverage video, Instagram, paid click marketing. And today we're gonna show you the whole system on how we did it, okay? So this was the ad that it all started with. And I hate showing this ad, actually. I actually hate the ad. I look terrible. Ramona walked in my office, or maybe she just texted me the script, was like, grab your phone and shoot this and send it back to me. And I was in between meetings. I didn't even read the script. I literally put it on a teleprompter app and I just read it. And Ramona gave it to me, and she followed the framework that we use, that I'm going to teach you soon, that I'm using right now. And I want you guys to hear the ad and see it. Okay. Does your website feel dead? Does it even show up on the first page of Google? Did you even get a new client on your website this month? Answer is no. Then you have an overpriced business card that I can turn into a money-making machine. I've helped over 5,000 businesses increase revenue simply by improving their digital presence. Our team of experts in website design, SEO, content creation are going to make your phone ring. I get it. I've been burned by some of those overpriced talkers that try and sell me into things. And if you don't believe my word, book a call and I'll show you the proof. I've been running a business for over 8 years with over 3,500 active business owners as clients, and we deliver on our promises. Click the link below and bring back your website from the dead. All right. So that was the ad. And, I hadn't shaved in a while. I wasn't wearing anything nice. There was no production. It was done on an iPhone. And, the results, and it's funny because Ramona showed it to me and I said, nah, we got to reshoot that, right? We got to reshoot that. we can do way better, Ramona. So let's book a studio, right? And let's do proper camera, and let's prepare. I'll practice, and I'll shave, and I'll wear something nicer. And she kind of said, she's not gonna say no. So she's like, of course, let's try it, right? But Ramona ran the studio ad versus this ad, and this one absolutely crushed the other polished ads. So we learned that one, a model didn't work, a business owner who looks a little rough, because I look pretty rough there. Today I don't look so rough. But in that one I looked rough. My beard was caught here, and you guys probably don't notice, but I'm tearing my whatever hair I had left out while watching it. And that's how you feel. If you don't feel that way when you watch your first commercial, you've done something wrong. You're gonna twitch and watch yourself and go, ugh, right? And you got to get out from that feeling. That's a good feeling, okay? It means you're growing, right? When you feel uncomfortable, that means you're actually progressing. That's a good thing. I got to teach my kids that every day when they're nervous. Anyway, so this is the results. Can we see the polished ad too? I think I have it on my website, but maybe Ramona can dig it up. But thanks for the question though, Arda. We'll try and get it up. Maybe we'll send it to you after. But this is the results. 1 month, 70 customers generated. We shouldn't call them units. They're customers. Someone in finance must have wrote that one punch. 70 new customers, and just around $500,000 in revenue. And it really started as a $50 a day, right, initiative. And with $50 a day for a week, will let you know whether an ad works or not, right? Pretty quickly. We knew really quickly that this was going to work. And it was immediate that if your math is right, I have a customer who's going to pay me, $7,000 a year, $10,000 a year when I close them, right? Spending $50 a day, that's going to be something. If I got 5 customers came in, I'm going to double it, because I know I'm going to another 5, I'm going to get 10, right? Because when digital marketing works, it's really scalable. When an ad works, you can just turn the budget up. Okay, when you want more, you just turn the budget up. So if the math starts making sense, and $50 a day lets you test an ad, run $50 a day for 2 weeks. If it's not working, and it's not working, stop. Right? But if you keep trying the commercials, right? And we did 10 commercials, and 3 of them hit, and then 3 of them have been used for years. I tried to get the number today to show you what that ad is worth today. I don't, Ramona, if you ever got into that number, but that ad was how old is that ad? Do you remember, Ramona?
It is 3 years old. So we do have different version, but the same kind of structure that works. But we have increased the ROI continuously.
How many customers do you think if you can cut all the flavors up, how many new customers do you think that one ad is driven?
So 3 years, 12 months, a month. In the beginning, we got 70 to 90 clients a month, and then now it's around the same number, but it's the client costs more, so it's a little bit different, but it's the value increased, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a lot of customers, if you guys can do the math. Okay. And my business grew, and we were able to scale back the sales team and put something in place that if we want more, we just double the budget. We want more, just double the budget. So it was a very incredible journey for my company, and Ramona was a huge part of that, right? And she is here at Webware, working tirelessly with the Bell team, and we work together to help digital marketing get to more small businesses inside the Bell network, and Ramona helps our clients and Webware with all of our campaigns.
And Grant just put the number that it was over 2,000 clients altogether.
Over 2,000 clients. So, generally we average $7,000 to $10,000 a year per customer. So you guys can do the math. That's some big business. Okay? And it didn't take anything special. Okay. And I think the most important part is this part right here. This is the content creation template. Okay. And at the end, I'm going to give you a QR code and you fill it out. I'm going to send this to you. So you don't need to worry about missing it. but if you want to take a screenshot, go for it. But this is the juice. I'm sharing my most impactful trade strategy, trade secret strategy, whatever you want to, tool that I've acquired over my career, and I use it relentlessly, okay? And it's, what you don't want to do is take this framework and change the order of things, okay? It is all about the order in which you talk about things in your ad, in your presentation. Frankly, every time you talk to a human, I stick with this framework, right? First, if you go back to my ad, it's the first thing I said. Hey, is your website dead? Did you even get a lead this month, right? What am I talking about? I'm hitting the 2 to 3 challenges, right? That are top of mind. And why do you start with challenges, right? You start with challenges because the brain and a human really only look and spend all day and turn on for when they can try to avoid pain, okay? Humans and our brains, we want to avoid pain all day, and we look for solutions to avoid pain. So when you talk about pain, the brain switches on. It's like, oh, that's a pain I have. Ears up, I'm listening, proceed to the next gate, which is the promises, right? Where does the person, if they solve the pain, where do they want to be? What's the dream? They're like, well, if I avoid this pain, I'm going to be right here. I'm going to be able to do this. I'm going to be able to do that. You got to make it clear to them right then and there, after talking about the pain, is the promise, right? You will become free if you work with me. Your time will free up. Your home will be better. Your assets will grow. You'll feel better. You'll be able to have better relationships. Your breath will be better. Whatever the promises is, like, you got it now because they're listening. I got pain. I'm listening for solution. And now you paint the picture of what they're really trying to achieve, right? Now a person's super engaged, right? And that's when you hit them with a story, okay? A story allows the message to stick forever, okay? And this sticks forever when you tell a story, especially one with some emotion. No one will ever forget it, and they'll retell it. When you include a story, it gets retold, so the message travels. That was amazing, because when I started talking like this, people would tell me later, someone told me about your talk. Someone told me about your event, and I heard about it and I came to you. Only when I started doing stories did people come back and say, I heard about that. And that was a really cool thing that I saw when I learned to speak this way, and I did it. And then I had people actually for the first time come back, or people I didn't know that weren't there say, I heard about that. I've used that story. And then after you've got someone on a story, they've locked it in, they're ready to tell it, they're not going to forget it, right? You've included a little emotion. Now you insert the thing it is you do, your message. If it's a commercial, it's your product. If it's a new policy change in the company, it's time to put the policy in there, because everyone's ears up, brains are on, locked in, and now they're hungry for that thing that you've been talking about for a few minutes. They want it really badly, the framework, right? Right now, I'm using this content framework right now, and I'm in the framework solutions section, right? And I'm now giving you the goods for the last 15 minutes. I've led everyone up to like, how the heck did he do this? And this is one of the 3 most important parts, is the way you talk and the structure, right? So this is the time to put in the message that you really want the person to hear, right? After that, you move to busting a myth, right? Everyone has this myth in their mind about what you just talked about. You know what it is. It's time to take it out, right? Like in the commercial, as soon as I talked about how I've helped thousands of businesses, I've given them the framework at Webware, helped thousands, blah, blah, blah. I started busting a myth. This is not going to be expensive. This is achievable for all budgets. You know that they're thinking, I love this digital marketing, this commercial was great, but do I have the budget? So that's when you include bust that myth that everyone's thinking with the topic. Then you head to recap, quick recap of everything, sum it right back up, right? Starting with the challenges, going through the promises, having a story to lock it in, right? Talking about challenges so their brain turns on, promises so that they're listening and now they want it, right? Including the story so it never gets forgotten, having that framework of what it is they need to do now, what is the secret you're giving them, what is the tool, the product, busting out a myth so you look like an expert and they don't get stuck on the first set of challenges, right? Quick recap and then a call to action. Every single thing, every time I talk, you'll see this is my structure. Okay, and boy, does it make a difference. And the number one thing everyone goes and does with this, the biggest challenge everyone has with this is for some reason everyone changes the order. They said, "Oh, Corey, I did your framework. I don't know, but I put the story first, and then I put the promises at the end, and I did the challenges in the middle." That is exactly what you can't do. This is about the sequence of how you can talk to someone to achieve reaching them and getting them to respond. Okay, it's psychology like so many other things are. Awesome, let's go. Other myth: I don't need a website. Okay, this is a big myth that I found with some people when it comes to their business, and I want to talk about it for a second. Most important thing you're ever going to hear is the website is the only thing you own online. Why is this the most important thing you've ever heard? I'll tell you why. Because small businesses don't get pensions. We have to sell our businesses or hope one of our kids takes over, right? And those are hard things, both of them. And when you go to sell your business and you want to retire on the money, the number one question a banker will ask you is, how do you get new business? And a lot of business owners give that really proud answer they've had that they, funny enough, use to reject most marketing companies, which is, I don't need marketing. Everybody knows me, right? If that's your response and that's your business and that's what you tell a banker, you're going to get the answer of there's going to be two options. You're going to not sell your company at all. Or when you sell your company, you're going along with it. You're going with it. And they're going to keep you there for 20 years. I remember when I was doing door-to-door selling Webware like 10 years ago, I walked in Wanda's Pies. And I walked in and it was this, I walked in and I said, "Who's the owner?" And the sharp looking Indian man was there. And he said, "I'm the owner." And I said, "Okay, I'm doing Webware, this and that." But in the back of my mind, I'm like, there's not Wanda. Where's Wanda, right? And we started talking and he told me I bought the business 5 years ago. I said, "Okay." And he's looking at the girl. I said, "Great." And he goes, "That's Wanda." And Wanda was like a 75-year-old lady making those pies. Okay? You don't want to be Wanda. You want to have the answer when the banker says, "What's your business? How does it grow? How do you get new customers?" If your answer is, "My website is something I've invested in for a decade. I have great reviews. I know how to do digital marketing. I have a sales machine that I can actually, put down on a sheet and predict what it does. And I golf and business comes in." That's the business a banker goes, "I'm going to sell this business." And you are going to make millions of dollars because you built and invested in something you own, your IP, which is your website and your digital presence. So most business owners have never heard something like I just said. They don't think this way about their digital presence. So that's why this is some of the best stuff you'll ever hear, is that the website is the only thing you own. And when it comes to all these channels, social media, messaging, landing page, all this stuff, you want to point it to your website because that's your property. And the more people go to it, the better it's ranked on Google, the more value it is when you go to sell your business, because it's like you own a house on a major property on Google that's equitable and sellable. Okay, I just want to double tap on that. Super important. These are key things you need to have for this really to work and really to take advantage of digital marketing when you're doing video paid ads. You don't want to not have these things because there are customers who see your ad and they will not buy right away. They will research you. They will go look for you. They will go and engage with your other content. There's two types of customers. There's the ones that just flick up and sign up. And sometimes they don't remember they did that when you call them, right? Then there's other customers who just flick it away, go to Google, search your name, search your website, go to all the stuff, okay? You don't want to say no to that person. Because that's like 50-50. It's 50-50 split. I want it now, I'm willing to research, right? So you need a professional website. You need to have engaging blog content, so Google is ranking you. You need to have Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff going. You can't be dead. You haven't done it in 3 months, people think you're dead, including Google, including Meta, right? And all their search algorithms. You want to keep feeding the meter. Why put out blogging and social? It's almost like no one's reading it really, but the Google engines and the AI is reading it. And if you don't show them content, they put your FICO, your web FICO score. There is kind of a FICO score. I'm using American stuff, but you have a credit score with Google, right? And it goes up and down. And one of the ways it goes up is when you put more content online, because it shows you're dedicated. But if you just leave a website up for a decade, they're going to think you're not dedicated. And that actually is going to devalue you. So putting up pages, putting up content, doing the social, having good reviews. Do not leave your reviews to go to waste. You'll never sell your business. Okay? Strong reputation, people research. And how do you think you end up in AI responses? Positive reviews. AI checks the reviews. This is a great business. They're 5 out of 5 on Google. I'll take their answer from their blog. And now suddenly when someone asks ChatGPT, who's the best accountant in Toronto? Who's the best accountant in Winnipeg? Bada bing, bada boom, it's spitting out your details to them. That's how you do it, is through all these things. So you have to be doing these. These are table stakes digital marketing, right? Automated lead follow-up. I'm going to show you that in a second. A CRM for tracking. I'm going to show you that in a second. Seamless payments and email newsletter. These are the table stakes tools that you need to have, okay? Which are going to be part of the follow-up game. So I want to talk about how we now, once the lead comes in, we now engage automatically with the business, right? So I'm going to show you our technology at Webware. We use it to manage all the business that comes in. So Ramona does the ads with me. The leads come into the website, and there's a quick dashboard to see all the leads that are coming in, right? This is my personal website, so I'm not using our real Webware database. So these are not real customer data. These are like other data. But anyways, so these are leads, and leads come in, and what happens is we leverage automations. I don't know if you guys are leveraging automations yet, but automations save you a ton of time and can make you money while you don't do anything. Like for example, anyone that signs up as a lead, I'm able to automate, right? When someone comes into this form out there, or I put them on this list in the CRM, or I can also have them sign a QR code. They come in here and all these actions happen, like sending out an automatic drip newsletter, email 1, that goes out on day 1. And then 3 days later, a to-do opens for Wisdom, who's on my team here, right? Wisdom then gets the to-do, he now makes the call, and 10 days later, another email is going to go out to the person, and I haven't lifted a finger, right? So I'm able to automatically farm the lead that comes in, right? That's a very important thing. If you don't have automation and you start doing Instagram marketing and it starts to work, you'll be buried and not be able to catch up. And then another component, if I bring up, Jesse Lee, who's in my sales team here, and I'll let Ramona go because we're moving from digital marketing into sales and follow-up. Okay, Jesse, if you didn't have a CRM to manage the inbound leads we get from Instagram, how much worse would we be off? Like, how important is it?
There's a lot of customers out there that we wouldn't be able to help if we didn't have a CRM or, to that fact, automations.
Right.
Hundreds of customers would be falling through the cracks, and yeah, that would be a tragedy.
Right. So, having the one view of, who owns the lead, right? What's the next to do, right? What did they say next, right? How do you leverage these things every day to grow business?
Yeah, so some of the big things is having the AI summary, as you're showing here at the top, is an easy way for someone to understand exactly what has happened in the conversation, what the next steps are, and what needs to happen in that next conversation. Having a task there to know everything that I have to do today in one inbox.
Right.
Automating the emails, having texts get sent out automatically. And it's an easy way for you to follow up with your customers, with your clientele even, to make sure that's nothing slipping through the cracks.
Awesome. And, you know, in terms of like a lead coming in, how many times do you follow up with a lead that comes in? What do you think the amount of time someone should follow up if they get an inbound lead from Instagram? And then how fast should they follow up?
So yeah, great questions. So the first one, in terms of how many times, we are having contact or reaching out to someone up to 8 different times. That includes 5 phone calls, a text message, and 2 emails before we deem that customer to fall into a 12-week drip campaign and move on to the next one. In terms of how quickly, there is a bunch of data out there. I'd advise you guys to do some research, but if you can get to these customers and these inquiries within 5 minutes, the odds of your ability to actually earn their business triples. Okay, and there's a bunch of articles out there online. So if you can develop a system where they get an email right away, they get a text message, and on top of that, they can get a phone call if they're not already calling you, your acquisition rate and your conversion rate is going to skyrocket. So if you had challenge 4, I'd highly recommend getting on those and calling those right away, as it makes a world of a difference.
Awesome stuff. If there's any questions on follow-up game or anything, feel free to put in the chat. We're happy. Travis, you want Ramona's email? You gotta come through Webware. Go to Webware. I'll give you a code at the end, or a QR code, and you fill that out. And there's a gateway to Ramona that way. But thank you so much, Jesse. That was really helpful. I want to show everyone, this is Webware, a little glimpse of it. We use a lot of AI to help our business and ourselves, understand what was said to the customer. I know who's ever been there where they want one place to know what everyone said to a customer or what I said last time. Webware has a unique ability to because they're everything in one platform, which is what Webware is, an all-in-one digital marketing and sales solution, website, phone, CRM, payments, digital marketing, SEO, all from one partner. We have this unique ability to summarize everything happening with a lead. So you don't have to say, what did happen on the phone? What happened on email? Who owns a task? What did they do on my website last week? The CRM knows all of that. So it's able to roll up and give you one view of the customer. I can see, this person was on my website, weeks ago, what pages they went to. I can see that they haven't received a newsletter. I left a note last week here. He was in a bad mood. I got my payments here. So he actually paid me my $5. And I have an open to do here for follow up in 2026. And I can see any emails we've had in and out in one place, including SMSs from the Webware phone that I use. And, I clicked on a text message. So all the SMSs. And then my favorite part, is the phone calls. So I don't know about you, but I get a lot of phone calls and I need to know what happened last time. I can come here and either read the summary at the top or read the summary down here and get a quick summary of what was the conversation about last time I talked to Grant, right? And this is all in one platform, turnkey, no integration, setup time, just all works. And that's the tool we use to aggressively do what Jesse was talking about, which is engage the customer quickly. Emails going out, phone calls going out, to-dos going to the team, following up 6 times over the next 6 weeks. This is as important as all the other things we talked about today in the training, right? Setting up the ad, posting it, doing the right script. This is all the things that need to happen from top to bottom, right? Having that automation, unless you want to drown yourself, you want automation to be able to really get on those leads. So we got a question here. What do you recommend for companies who already have a website? yeah, just make sure your website is SEO friendly. Make sure it's producing new content on a regular basis, so don't leave it stale, right? The good news is the older a domain is, by the way, the longer, the easier it is to do SEO. So good old domain is really good to show Google and all the AIs that you're a reputable business. They don't like brand new domains because, like, you know, if you're a scammer or you just created a domain, you put up a website, they don't want to offer that, right? That's just behavior that's not trustworthy. So unfortunately, you got to show time and effort to Google and the AIs, time, effort, and attitude, just like in real life. Good reviews, lots of content, updating your website, good reviews, all happening constantly, raising that pretty much your quality score, your FICO score in the eyes of Google and AI. Website, good question. Website from Shopify, is it SEO friendly? Unfortunately, it's not out of the gate. Like, you buy a template, but you set it up and you need to go and then put in all the keywords and the meta tags. In Webware, I'll show you what's important is when you set up a website and you have all these web pages, just like Shopify is very similar. You have to put in the keywords that go in the data. So in Webware, you can go here and just put the keywords, the meta tags, and those have to match your search words. I don't know if Shopify lets you do it that easily. You might have to go in the code base and add it. So SEO is not out of the box for Shopify, but you can hire someone to do it. It's a little expensive, If you have a Shopify site, by the way, we work with a lot of Shopify customers. And what we do is we put Webware as the main website, and then Shopify becomes the Shopify tab at the top, and we drive SEO, our SEO juice, to the main corporate site. And then when they want to shop, they can go off to the store. So that means you don't have to hire someone expensive to adjust Shopify. You can engage with our tool, get all the other stuff, CRM, email, newsletter, social media, blogging, the cool phone and SMS, all that stuff. And you can use that in addition to Shopify. Hope that helps that question. So let's see, Ramona, I'll let you go now. And Jesse, thanks so much for joining me here to go over some of this stuff. Super helpful. All right. So let me just see if we forgot anything on the deck. Yes, let's go here. One more thing. Share this tab. Put this up. So appreciate everyone here joining me today. This is a special QR code. Okay, if you scan it, I'll tell you what you'll get. You fill out a form and you will get a link to follow me on Instagram so we can connect. You'll get a coupon for 50% off at Webware that you can use at Webware, which is a Bell partner right now, helping their small businesses with digital marketing. So if you want to look at what I just showed you, the tool, or get access to our digital marketing video service where we do everything I just taught you, we'll do for you right at Webware. That is what we do. We help grow your business online. We give you all the tools, the help, and the service that you need to do it. So with this QR code, you will get 50% off the whole annual contract. So that's substantial, right? If you go and sign up for one of our packages, you could shave 10, 15K off an invoice. But even if you're signing up for a lower package, we have multiple ranges. So, sign up here, you get the email after, and you can take a call, but you can lock in half off if you're interested. And then I also have a cool customer cloning tool that I've made that can help you write your own Instagram script really easily with AI. So if you don't want us to do it, I'm giving you a tool where you can answer a few questions and it'll do a script for you in my format. So that's kind of cool. And then I will also include a link to the Bell Resource Hub that just went live in the last month or so. Bell launched a SMB Resource Hub. So I'll include a link for that. And that's got a bunch of companies like Webware and other AI tools and marketing, and Staples is on there. And they're giving you discounts on some of the coolest stuff that those businesses are offering, like Staples and Webware. If you want a discount on their preferred membership or discount on Webware and other companies like Perplexity, it's a great initiative by Bell. So I appreciate them. And then of course, a link to a copy of this webinar. If you want to watch this on your own time, rewatch it, do it again. we'll give you a copy of that. So, and I believe that is it for today. And I want to again thanks Belle for all your help. I'd love to know in the chat, 1 out of 10, how you feeling about today, and what's the biggest takeaway that you're going to run away and do now after this presentation? Was I 1 out of 10, 10 being this was fantastic, let's keep this going, Belle, bring Corey back, let's do more? Or is this like a 4 or 5? It wasn't very valuable to you, you've heard it before. Be honest, I can take it. I'm a big boy. Just want to hear from you on your way out the door. How is this for you? And if there's something that you're like, oh, that's that one thing I got to do or I took away, let me know in the chat. Would love to hear it. Really appreciate it. All right, I got a Massimo 8. Thank you so much. Arda 8. Thank you so much. Jess, let me know what I can do better there. I'd love to help. If we can increase things for you, let me know and I'll include it next time. You know, if you're thinking it was missing something, let me know and next time I'll add it. That's the great thing. If I get you to tell me what I didn't do great, I will make sure next time it's even better. Let's see. I got Travis at a 9. Thank you, Travis. Appreciate that. We got JL at an 8. Thank you so much. We are Canadian, you know, very few Canadians give a 10. I found that. The Americans give 10. It's funny. But we are Canadian. I am down here in Toronto. All right, here we got Sasha. Want to try less polished posts or videos, more personal touch? That's exactly what you should do. People are sick of the polish. They want to see some scars. So small business owners, you have a lot of scars. Show them your tenure. The older and rougher you look, frankly, I think the clicks are they go up. They go up. So use your advantage. We got Gustavo, thank you so much, at an 8. We got Caitlin Henderson, examples of visual learners would be great. Absolutely, Caitlin. I'll send you the formats after this so you have them. That's good feedback. All right, this was excellent. We had a ton of people today. We were in the triple digits of viewers today. Super exciting. We are doing more series, so watch our SMS, watch your email for the next event. And I'm super excited about today. Appreciate your time. And I believe that is it. Right on time, literally to the minute. Thank you so much, Belle. Thanks so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Ramona. Appreciate that. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you soon and have a great day. And we'll see everyone next time.